everyone, today I did an easy cut crease look. It probably looks a little bit complicated right now, but I didn't use a lot of brushes and I did use the same brush for different purposes to help you guys out and show you that you can do this cut crease even if you don't have a lot of brushes. All you need is brushes that are similar to these ones that I've used. They're really dirty right now, but these are the brushes that I've used. I used the MAC 217 brush, the Bdellium Tool 780 brush, the Zoeva Spot Liner brush, and the Concealer Buffer brush by Zoeva as well. So this is how my eye looked, and I did use the Modern Renaissance palettes by Anastasia Beverly Hills to do this look. There's probably a lot of people that have this palette, so I wanted to create another look. I know I've done like a couple of looks already, but I wanted to use this palette again, and it's really pigmented, so yep, that's what I've used. I know a couple of my friends that have it as well, so that's the colors inside of it. They're really gorgeous and they flatter every single eye color and skin tone as well. The way my cut crease look looks, then just keep watching. Before I apply my transition color, I do like applying concealer to carve out underneath my brows, and for that I like using the Zoeva 310 Spot Liner brush, and you can use any concealer, but I've been using my Match Perfection by Rimmel, and all you want to do is carve out underneath there. And I do like doing my eye makeup before my face makeup. It doesn't really matter as long as you don't have a palette that has a lot of fallout. You can do your face first, but this palette has a little bit of fallout and I do prefer to do my eyes before my face anyway. So I just blend it down towards my eyelid. So like that. Then I go in with a primer. Using a primer is somewhat important because you need the eyeshadow to have like a base to stick onto. So that's why I really like using a primer. And for that you can go in with a primer that has a tint to it, like the Benefit Stay Don't Stray, or you can go in with the Tarte Clean Slate 360 primer, which this primer doesn't really like have a tint, so yeah, you can go with either or. But because I do kind of have like a bit of veining on my eyelid, I do like using a tinted eye primer. And I just blend that out. You can do this with a brush or just your fingers. And after you have the primer on your eyes, you do want to like set it, and I use the Tempera in the Modern Renaissance palette. You want a tone that matches your skin tone, or you can go with something light to make your eyeshadow pop. I do like doing both eyes at the same time because I feel like you know what you applied to this eye, so you can just replicate it on this eye really quickly. Okay, sometimes creasing like that happens because either the concealer and the primer on your eye didn't mix well, so I'm just going to be wiping that like that. Just remove what part didn't look good, and this is like the start, so if you did kind of like mess up on that, I would say remove your whole face and just redo it, because or else the eyeshadows on top aren't going to lay as flat. And this is the reason why I like using a primer and then setting my eyes, because you can see where the patchiness can be and just avoid it by redoing it and setting it really quickly. If it still creases like that, I would say use a different eye primer. The transition color that I am going in with is Raw Sienna, which is that shade over there. And to show you guys how it's going to apply, I'm just going to turn this way. Sorry for the redness like around my face. I don't have any makeup on. Okay, so I'm just going to be applying that to my crease. At first, I like holding my brush closer, like towards the bristles, and then I go in again with the same shade and I hold it a little bit more back. And I just build up the color and keep blending. Then I'm going to be doing the same thing on the other eye. And as I said, if there's no creasing at first after you set your eyelids, there's not going to be patchiness with your eyeshadow as well. So I'm going with the same. I'm going in with the same shade, and I do kind of like dust it a little bit off, but this is like the transition type of color which I'm building. And then I look and see if they're quite similar and just build. Depending on how you want your eye look, this is where you either flick it out if you want like a cat eye look, or you can just make it round. Just depends on how you actually want your eye look to look. Or you can just do that at the end as well when you use a wet wipe, or you can even use a sticky tape here, and you can peel it off, which is nice as well, but I don't want a lot of creases on my eye. But if you do want to do it, you can just either do it now or at the end as well. And this is the shape that I want it to be. So after this is applied, I like going in with a darker shade than this. I can either go in with burnt orange or Vilga, depending on how deep I want the look. And for this video, I'm going to be doing like a darkish look. So using the same brush, I'm going to pick up Vilga, tap it off, and then apply it to the same area that I applied Raw Sienna. And this time I'm like holding it in the middle of the brush. So after that's done, you can either go in with a darker shade or a bronzier shade or anything like that, depending on what colors you want to use for your look. I'm going to go in with warm taupe and mix it in with cypress umber and kind of like focus that just on the main crease area. And for that, I would say you brush that is like this, tapered, and like a brush that you can also use for the lower lash line as well. So I'm going to pick up warm taupe and cypress umber, warm taupe and cypress umber. Then you can see my brush, tap it off and apply that to that area. Look down and just focus that over there. And I'm picking up the shades again. It doesn't matter if you get it down here because we are going to cut it. And keep building until you reach the desired look. Then while I was doing this, I didn't tap off the brush. As you can see, There is fallout with this, but we can just remove that. And with this brush, you can't really precisely blend, so it might look a little bit harsh, but don't worry, we are going to go in with the first shade, Raw Sienna, and blend it all out. And then I'm using the simple wipes for this as well. You can use this at the end, but I don't want people to be like annoyed looking at the fallout on my face. So going in with the MAC 217 brush, I'm going to pick up Raw Sienna, tap the brush off, and then blend it out. And then I use the side of the brush, and then I like wiggle it, as you can see. After it looks like this, I'm going to go in with Rimmel again. I've done both of my eyes. And then use the same MAC 217 brush without like wiping it or anything. And just build that up in between there. Same thing on the other eye. To cut the crease, I'm going to be using the first brush that I used when I carved out my eyebrows. You can use any concealer to carve it out, but I'm just using this Maybelline Master Conceal. This is not one of my favorite concealers, but I do like using it to create cut creases. I just blended out with my finger a little bit because it was a little bit clumpy. So you just carve it out. You want to be as close as you can to the mirror. Like that, and then you can just blend it out a little bit. And I'm going to use the first brush that we used and pick up Tempera and just set that area. And this is how it looks cut. And you can apply any shade that you want onto the eyelids later on, or if you're satisfied with this, I would say build up the color a little bit more so you can cut it more sharply, and then just apply anything you want or just leave it like this. So after they're done, I am going to apply a base shade for the cut crease, and for that I want to go for like a little bit of like a wearable type of look. So I'm just going to go in with Primavera, which is that shade over here. And I'm going to go in with the brush that I use for concealer. I did kind of wipe that on the back of my hand a little bit, and then just apply it to my eyelid. As you can see, this is like a gorgeous shade. You can use Fix Plus to intensify the look, or just use it like this. like that. And then now I'm just going to fix up the top part. Like that. So it looks gorgeous like this, but I'm actually going to go in with raw sienna again and mix it in with burnt orange and tap off the brush. So raw sienna and burnt orange, I did apply it to the brush and then I tap it off. Ooh. Then I go in and build on my crease again. And I like doing this later on because I do like seeing how dark and intense the eye is going to look, and then build up the color according to the eye look. So you can leave it like this, but I'm going to go in with the glitter. I'm using this Revlon Photoready Eye Art. Yes, I know, Chemist Warehouse. The stickers that you put on your packaging are hard to remove. Where the dark color is, I'm going to be applying the glitter. With this, you do have to build a little bit, so that's fine. If you don't really like the applicator, you could go in with your own brush. I'm just building up on that. Oops. I have messed up with that. You could go in with Primavera again and just go over it while the glitter is wet. Mix it up. But if you're satisfied, then you can just leave it. You could leave this look like this, but I do like using winged eyeliner, so I'm actually going to be doing that. And for that, I'm going to be using the Style Day liquid liner. The wing depends on how your eye shape is as well, how thick you want it with this look. I want to get my wing to touch the glitter. I've done the rest of my face makeup, but I didn't do my lips. I saved my lips so I can show you a lip option that I would use for this look. So yeah, now for the lower lash line. I'm going to be using the same brush that I use for like that dark brown. This is the Bdellium Tool 780 brush. So I'm just going to be using this. You can use the Cinema Secrets blush, the brush cleanser, and then remove whatever's on it. But you can even leave it with the dark shade because I am going to apply a little bit of Cypress Umber and mix it in with raw sienna. So this shade and that shade, and I'm just going to be applying, like tapping off the brush and applying it to my lower lash line. I feel like I need a little bit more orange, so I'm going to go in with Realgar, which is that orange over here, and just picking that up on the same brush, I'm just going to be applying that. To make this look more glamorous, you could go in with the glitter and apply it just to the bottom down here, but I'm not. I'm just going to be leaving it like this. Then I'm going to be applying this Smashbox Always On Gel Eyeliner to my tight line. Then applying a coat of the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. I first always do my bottom lashes because when I do my top lashes, I feel like if my bottom lashes are still wet, it kind of like transfers. And then my top lashes. just like a quick coat, because we are going to go in with false lashes. It is like a glamorous look, so we want it to look more glamorous. I'm going to go in with my Ardell Demi Wispies. I'm just going to be using the pair that I've used before, so the ones on the bottom. And for the glue, I'm just going to be using this mini eye lure glue. I do like the Velour Lashes glue, but I don't feel like it's as strong of a hold than the other eyelash glues, but it does like dry quickly. So I'm just waiting for this to dry a little bit. And while I wait for that, I'm going to be applying, what is it? Primavera, the one that I used on my lid, just in my inner corner. So it can give light to the face. Applying the lashes. I'm not the best at applying false lashes, so hopefully you guys don't mind that. And then the other pair, is this on properly? Going anywhere, and I did my makeup like this. But I just wanted you guys to like see and like be helpful in some way to show you guys that it's not really hard to do a cut crease, even if you don't use too many brushes. You can use the same ones for different purposes. That's the completed look for the eyes. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want your eyes to look more brighter, you could apply a nude liner to your waterline, or use a Q-tip and remove whatever is actually transferred to your waterline. But I do like it like this, so I'm going to be leaving it. For lips, I'm going to be applying the Rimmel Exaggerate lip liner in Natural. Then for lips, I wanted to go with like an orangey colour. I'm using the ColourPop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Investigator. And I think this is like a bright orange, so hopefully it doesn't look bad. Sorry if this is not the best application of the liquid lipstick, but it's a very bright orange and I did have to kind of build on the colour, but even though I applied over it a couple of times, it still doesn't look bad. So that was the end of the video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you want more videos from me. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.